Her family compared me to her ex at every holiday, so I told her to go be with him. Then she actually tried. Hi, I'm Darren, 31, and last Thanksgiving found out I'd been in a relationship with a woman whose entire family was still emotionally dating her ex. They praised him while I carved the turkey, mocked my car, career, and clothes, and she just sat there, silently sipping wine while they humiliated me. So I did the only rational thing. I told her, go be with him then. And when she called to do exactly that, he told her he was already engaged. It started like most disasters do, in slow motion and wrapped in good intentions. I met Claire through mutual friends. She was 28, smart, gorgeous, loved dogs and spicy food. We clicked right away, moved in after a year, and I swear I thought it was going great. The only recurring issue was her family, not fights, just comments. They lived 2 hours away, and we'd visit once a month for weekend dinners or birthdays. And every single time, without fail, they brought up her ex.at first. I thought it was harmless nostalgia. They'd been together for years before me. Maybe it took time, but that theory crumbled fast. Thanksgiving dinner was when it hit the fan. Her mom, carving the turkey, says out loud, "Oh, you know who used to carve this so beautifully? Claire's ex." Such a steady hand. I was literally holding a fork. I hadn't even touched the knife yet. Her dad joins in. "So Darren, what's your 5-year plan?" Claire's ex-made partner at 28. Real go-getter. Claire's younger brother asks, "You still driving that Accord?" Man, her ex had a Tesla. Sick car. All this while Claire just gave me that weak little, sorry smile. You know the one. The please don't make a scene smile. But no defense. No, hey. Enough about the ex, nothing. After dinner, her aunt corners me and says, "You seem nice." But her ex was just so much more. Cultured. Took her to the opera and everything. "Do you even own a suit?" I wore one to their cousin's wedding 2 months earlier. I own 3, but I just nodded and sipped my drink. On the drive home, I told her, "Your family really loves your ex." She goes, "They're just attached. He was around for years." Yeah, I said. "But I've been around for 18 months, and they still act like I'm a rebound." Her answer? "You're being sensitive." And that, folks, was the first real crack in the glass. 2 weeks later, we were back at her parents' place for her dad's birthday. I brought a $120 bottle of Scotch Macallan 12 year. Nice stuff. Her dad opened it and said, "Oh, her ex always brought the 18 year. But this is nice too," with a tone that screamed, "but not quite good enough." I smiled. "Glad you like it." Then her mom brought out family photos. There he was in half of them. Beach trips, ski trips, 4th of July barbecues. "Remember when he fixed the water heater at the cabin?" Her mom said. "Saved us hundreds." I'm a civil engineer. I literally design bridges. But hey, clap for the guy who unclogged a drain one time. Her cousin took me aside later, dead serious. "Look, man, you're cool, but her ex, he fit better. You ever think maybe you're just a placeholder?" That's when I started to feel it. That slow, sick swirl in your gut when the math doesn't add up anymore. That night, Claire and I got home. She made tea like nothing had happened. I sat her down. "Your cousin told me to step aside. Said you're not over your ex. Said you aren't committed to me." She stared at the kettle. "I can't control what they say." "No, but you can defend me." "You haven't. Not once. Not when they mock my car. Not when they bring up his job, his gifts, his freaking turkey carving technique. You just stand there." I don't want to cause drama. And there it was again, don't rock the boat. "Why'd you even break up with him?" I asked. She hesitated. "He wanted to get married." I wasn't ready. I blinked. "Okay, and are you ready now?" She looked away. I knew right then. She never got over him. And worse, her family never let her. He was their golden boy. And me? Just the guy holding her purse until he came back. So I said it. "If he was that perfect, maybe you should be with him." She scoffed. "Are you breaking up with me?" "I'm saying this isn't working. Either you shut this down with your family, or I'm out." "You're giving me an ultimatum?" "No, I'm setting a boundary." And she said the one thing that sealed it. Me, we're just not compatible." I nodded. "Yeah, maybe you should call your ex. See if he wants his old life back." She did. That night, she walked into the bedroom and called him. I heard it all through the door. "Hey, I was just thinking maybe we could talk. Long pause. You're seeing someone? Since when? Another pause. Oh, serious? April? When she came out, her face was pale. He's engaged, I just said. Good for him. She said nothing. I packed her a bag and told her to stay with her parents, because I was done being compared to a man who already moved on. She left the next morning, didn't even argue, just stood in the hallway with her tote bag and that stunned look people wear when reality finally slaps them in the face. Her mom picked her up. I watched from the window. She didn't look back. I thought that'd be the end of it. I was wrong. 11 days later, the first call came from her mom. We need to talk about Claire, I said. I don't think we do. She's devastated. She made a mistake. No, you made 18 months of mistakes. Constant comparisons. Constant disrespect. Claire let you do it. That's why we're done. Her mom's voice dropped. Her ex was good for her. You weren't. He's engaged. She called him. He said no, that's not my fault. Click. Next day her dad called. You need to be a man and fix this. I almost laughed. Being a man means walking away when you're not valued. He grumbled something about how I was ungrateful. Then came the text from her brother. Bro, you messed up. Claire's crying every night. Your sister mocked my car. Remember that? At dinner? It was a joke. It wasn't funny. Blocked. They weren't done. Her aunt called from a private number. You're hurting the family. The family hurt me for 18 months. I'm just done. Her ex won't take her back. Good for him. Then came the LinkedIn message. No joke. A request from a new profile. She wrote, I miss you. I realize now I should have defended you. I made a huge mistake. Please let's talk. Nope. I changed my number the next day. That was the line. The LinkedIn line. She didn't stop. Her mom came to my building, knocked for 10 minutes, left a note under the door. You're being childish. Claire needs you. We were wrong. Tossed it. Then her dad showed up at my office. Told security I was abandoning his daughter. Had to be escorted out. Claire's best friend called me that night. She's not eating. She's lost weight. She's in therapy. She regrets everything. I hope she gets better, I said. But I'm not going back. You're really not giving her another chance? Nope. Why not? She let her entire family trash me. Never once spoke up. That tells me everything I need to know. You're being cold. I'm being smart. I went to bed that night and felt calm. I'd stopped chasing approval. I'd stopped begging to be seen. I was finally free. The reviews on my company's site started the next week. 1 star. Fake names. This company hires cowards who walk away from love. My boss called me in. What's going on? I showed him everything: texts, calls, LinkedIn, security cam footage. He nodded. We'll take care of it, and they did. But her cousin tried one more move. Catfished me, a dating profile, matched with me. 3 messages in, by the way, my cousin Claire misses you, unmatched, blocked. Then came the final thing. A handwritten letter, 10 pages, mailed, certified. I read it. It was actually sincere. She said she loved me, said she realized she'd never stood up for me because she was scared of conflict, said she's not scared anymore. I folded the letter, placed it in the recycling bin, and kept sipping my coffee. After the letter, it got quiet for a week. Then voicemail. My new number. Her mom again. Please. She's not eating. She's depressed. We were wrong. You're the right one. Please give her another chance. Delete. Then her dad messaged me on Facebook. I was wrong. I judged you. My daughter loves you. I'm asking, man to man, please reconsider. Blocked. Then her brother, the Honda hater, hit me up on Instagram. Hey, I was a dick about your car. You're actually cool. Claire's a wreck. Can you at least talk to her? No, come on, man, no. You had 18 months to not be a jerk. You chose to be one. Live with it. She's my sister, and she could have defended me to you. She didn't. Goodbye. Blocked. The next Saturday, she showed up at my door knocking, calling through the door. Please, just 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I stayed in bed. Eventually, she left. I got up to find another note under the door. I know I messed up. I know my family messed up. I should have protected you. I didn't. I'm sorry. I love you. If you ever change your mind, I'm here. I threw it away. 2 weeks later, moved. Didn't tell anyone where. New apartment. Across town. Quiet building. Better security. Changed my number again. New gym. New grocery store. Basically ghosted the entire zip code. 3 weeks later, her best friend messaged me. She knows you moved. She's not gonna follow you. No more messages. She just wanted me to say she's sorry, and she hopes you're happy. I wrote back. Tell her I appreciate it, and I'm rooting for her. That was the end of it. Really. And oh, more letters. No more calls. No more LinkedIn. Claire went full no contact. I started dating again. Slowly, carefully. Dinner dates, coffee shops, normal conversations, with people whose families don't measure me against a ghost in a Tesla. Then about 2 months after the final note, I ran into Claire, totally by accident. Coffee shop. She was in line ahead of me, turned around with her drink, and almost dropped it when she saw me. Oh, hey, she said. Hey, she looked different. Tired, but calmer. How are you? I'm good, I said. You? Better. Therapy's helping. I'm glad. She hesitated. I'm sorry for everything. I know. Your friend told me. She shouldn't have bothered you. It's fine. Silence. I really did love you, she said quiet. I know. But love without respect doesn't work. She nodded. I know that now. Good luck with everything, I said. You too. She walked out. I got my coffee. Felt nothing. Not pain. Not anger. Just neutrality. Like seeing an old coworker from a job you don't even remember quitting. Later that day, I got a text from her best friend again. She said you were kind. Thank you for that. There's no reason to be cruel, I replied. She's dating someone new, she added after a pause. Took your advice. Working on boundaries with her family. That's good, I said. Genuinely. I hope it works out. She also wanted me to thank you for showing her what she was doing wrong. I just typed. Tell her she's welcome. And tell her I'm rooting for her. And I meant it. Because I was finally done. Not angry. Not bitter. Just clear. I started dating someone new a few weeks later. Her name's Rhea. First date was tacos and a long walk. She offered to split the bill without blinking. I declined because I wanted to, but it wasn't expected. Second date? She brought me cookies she baked herself. Third date? She met my friends, and one of them actually said, "Wow, she looks at you like you invented oxygen." Different world. Her family? Insanely normal. Her dad shook my hand like he'd been waiting to meet me. Her mom sent me home with leftovers. Her brother? Gave me grief about sports. Not my salary. You know, Liler teasing. Human teasing. Not comparison to the ex-type. I told Rhea about Claire eventually. Not everything just enough. She nodded and said, people show you who they are when things get hard. Sounds like she stayed quiet when it mattered most. I said, exactly. Then she added, silence is a choice too. That one hit me hard. Because, yeah, Claire never told her family to stop. Not once. And that silence rang louder than all their passive-aggressive praise for her ex. And when it all blew up, she tried to fix me, not them. There's a quote I keep coming back to. When someone treats you like you're just one of many options, help them narrow it down by removing yourself from the equation. I did that, and I never regretted it. The best part? The peace. My phone doesn't vibrate with drama anymore. No one shows up at my work. No one tells me I'm not enough while smiling to my face. I'm just living. I see friends. I work. I cook more now. I even got back into painting, something I hadn't touched in years. Rhea asked to see one of my canvases and said, wow, you're kind of incredible. No comparisons. No qualifiers. No ex-boyfriend metrics. Just me. 3 months after running into Claire, I had dinner with my family. My mom asked casually, whatever happened to that girl? The one with the opinionated family? I smiled. Ended it. Her family never let go of her ex. Compared me to him constantly. She never defended me. My dad just shook his head and said, life's too short for that kind of nonsense. My sister, chewing a mouthful of garlic bread, said, did they ever realize how bad they screwed up? Eventually, I said. Too late though. Good, she replied. Seriously, screw that whole situation. Good for you for walking away. I didn't even realize how much I needed to hear that. Just someone on my side without conditions. because that was the worst part of being with Claire. It always felt like I was on trial. Like any mistake, any slip-up, would be compared to the man who could do no wrong. And Claire, the one person who should have had my back, just sat there and watched. She loved me, sure, but not loudly, not bravely, and that's what finally broke me. You can't build a life with someone who's afraid to claim you. The next week, Rhea invited me to her friend's engagement party. I barely knew anyone, but you know what happened? She introduced me proudly, told people what I did, laughed at my dumb jokes. She didn't flinch when her aunt asked, "How serious is this?" She just smiled and said, "Pretty serious. He's my person." I'll admit I choked on my mini quiche a little, but that's what love's supposed to feel like. Not a comparison test. Not a quiet apology, glance across a dinner table. Just ease. Just belonging. After the party, she took my hand and said, "I know I'm not supposed to say this first." I raised an eyebrow. "But I love you," she said. I didn't hesitate. "I love you too." We just stood in the parking lot under string lights and kissed like idiots. Because in that moment, I wasn't haunted by an ex, or measuring up, or wondering what her family really thought. I was just happy. Claire texted me once more, from a new number, just said, "I hope you're doing well." Genuinely, I didn't respond. Not because I was angry, but because she didn't owe me more, and I didn't owe her closure. She'd already taught me what I needed to know, that being silent in the face of disrespect is disrespect. About a month later, I saw the last echo of Claire in the most unexpected place. Reddit.no names, no photos, just a post titled, "How do you rebuild your life after realizing you ruined the best relationship you ever had?" The story? A woman who let her family sabotage her relationship by constantly comparing her boyfriend to her ex. She admitted she never defended him, said she was scared of confrontation, didn't realize the damage it did until it was too late. "I thought he'd always be there," she wrote. "I thought he was just venting when he said he'd leave. Then he actually did." She talked about calling her ex the real ex, only to find out he'd moved on. Talked about realizing that love without protection isn't love at all. Talked about trying to apologize, and getting nothing back but silence. Then the kicker, I saw him at a coffee shop. He looked at peace. I'd never seen that before. I used to think I brought calm to his life. Now, no, I was the storm. It wasn't signed, of course, but I knew. And weirdly, it didn't hurt. It felt like a final page turning. She was finally honest, even if it was anonymous. She understood. That was all I ever wanted. But understanding doesn't rewind time. Meanwhile, I was building something new with Rhea. She came over one night after work with paint samples and a bottle of wine. "I think we should repaint your bedroom," she said, tossing swatches on the kitchen table. "This one's called Serene Teal. I feel like you could use some serene in your mornings." "You think I need serenity? I think your old life had way too much beige." She wasn't wrong. We painted the next weekend. Laughed when we spilled paint on the floor. I accidentally painted her elbow. She painted my nose. We ate takeout on the floor in our socks. I looked around at the teal walls and realized this felt more like home than anything I'd had in years. I told her about Claire that night. All of it. The comparisons. The silence. The breakdown. She listened. Didn't judge. Just sat with it. Then she said, "I'm not her. And if I ever make you feel like you're being measured against someone else, tell me right away. I'll shut that down so fast, it'll make heads spin." And I believed her. Because Rhea has this thing Claire never had. Brave love. Loyalty that doesn't whisper, it shouts. It's not perfect. No love is. But it's safe, and full, and mutual, and most importantly, it's mine. No ghosts. No auditions. No family judges with invisible scorecards. Just two people showing up, choosing each other out loud. Every single day. It's been almost a year now since I left Claire, and I don't just mean broke up with her. I mean, I walked away from a version of myself that spent too long trying to win approval from people who already decided I wasn't enough. I used to replay all those dinners in my head. The turkey comments, the job comparisons, the Scotch sneers, the "are you sure you know what you're doing?" smirks, and worse, the silence that followed every time I looked at Claire for backup and got a shrug, or worse, a smile that begged me to just let it go. But now, I don't think about those moments anymore. They don't sting, Because I'm not that guy anymore. I don't try to win rooms I don't belong in. I don't date people who treat me like a project. And I sure as hell don't tolerate being made to feel like a second place prize. The thing no one tells you about walking away from someone you love is that you get your dignity back all at once. The night Claire called her ex and found out he was engaged, that wasn't just the end of our relationship, it was the moment I stopped auditioning for a role I never wanted. I wasn't trying to replace him. I was trying to be myself in a family who only valued a fantasy that, ironically, didn't even want them back. Ria and I were still together. Last week, we went to visit her parents. I braced myself without even realizing it's some old instinct. But her mom opened the door and hugged me like I was her son. Her dad showed me his tool shed, like that was some sacred honor. Her brother tried to beat me at Mario Kart and then insisted I come to their next game night. And when I thanked Ria later for having such a kind family, she smiled and said, "No, thank you for showing up with open hands, even after the last ones bit you." She gets it. That's the thing, being with someone who gets it changes everything. You stop tensing at kindness. You stop waiting for the shoe to drop. You stop seeing love as something you have to prove. It just is. Steady, soft, unapologetic. Claire texted me one last time. New number, different tone. I saw a couple today who reminded me of us. And I realized, we could have had that. I just didn't know how to protect it. I'm happy for you. I hope she sees the man I didn't know how to fight for. I didn't reply, not because I was angry, but because it was finally over. Closure doesn't always come with a bow. Sometimes it's just peace in your chest where pain used to live. Sometimes it's walking past a coffee shop and not flinching when you hear someone laugh who sounds like her. Sometimes it's realizing you haven't thought about them in weeks. Sometimes it's someone new putting their hand on your knee under the table. Just because, and you don't even compare it to anything else. It's just good. Claire's with someone now, I think. Someone her family apparently likes. I hope they're good to him. I hope she learned. And I hope he never feels like a contestant in someone else's highlight reel. As for me, I'm just living, working, loving, sleeping through the night. I'm not wondering, what if, or replaying old fights in the shower. I'm not measuring my worth in Scotch brands or sedan models. I've got someone who likes me as is. Someone who doesn't need to be convinced to claim me, and every now and then, I look at her across the dinner table and think, this is what it feels like to be the first choice. Not the backup. Not the replacement. Not the placeholder until the fantasy returns. Just me. And that's all I ever wanted. Thanks for listening. I hope, wherever you are, you choose yourself too. And if anyone ever makes you feel like you're competing with a ghost walk, there's someone out there who'll love you without keeping score. Promise.